reports.
Utilising the whole of the squad and his bench is coach Graham Henry's philosophy as the Blues head for Brisbane. Deciding on a horses-for-courses approach, he's made a number of changes, including bringing Brian Lemar in for Joeli Vindiri, while Caleb Ralph makes way for Lee Stensness in midfield. Matching current form with the Reds' home history, Henry is not painting a rosy picture of Queensland.
They got their old arrogance back from 1996, where they played very well in the Super 12, I thought, probably the best side in the Super 12 in the first year. So they've all come together again and got some confidence and won well the last 2 weeks. And you play in Brisbane, which is a bit of a problem, with all that humidity and heat and wet ball.
In 1996, Henry looked a worried man, as well he might, with the Blues going down 51-13. Jonah Lomu needs little reminding.
The last time we were there, we were given a bit of a drilling, so it will be glued into the players' heads, and we know what to expect. But we just got to prepare ourselves, 120%.
Forming an advance party in Australia for the Blues was Sean Fitzpatrick, the injured skipper working on a sponsorship job. His coach apparently unaware he was promoting a stepping machine in Sydney.
Oh, is he? That's news to me. Well, perhaps he should use it.
Fitzpatrick must have heard. He hopes to be playing club rugby next month. Marty Tasker, One Network News.
New Zealand skipper Grant Dalton is realistic about Merit Cup's chances of overhauling the runaway leader EF Language in the Whitbread race, but he won't give up without a fight. Here's Martin Tasker again.
Finishing the sixth leg in fifth place, Merit Cup slipped to third overall, with Paul Cayard's EF Language gaining an almost unassailable lead. In fact, his philosophical rival had to concede.
Yes, you'd have to say that probably EF's now got it in the bag, barring accidents. Accidents can happen though, so there's certainly no way you'd let them sort of have it.
Swedish match, which finished third on the leg to nudge Merit Cup from second place on the table, shares similar sentiments where EF Language is concerned.
Something extraordinary has to happen to get those guys behind us.
Innovation Caverna came in fourth and is part of the close contest for second place overall, with Chessie Racing also in the frame. Also in an Air Force radar frame, the all-women crew on the dismasted catamaran Royal Sun Alliance. Its round-the-world record bid at an end, the giant yacht is making for Chile, slowly.
With a tiny little 7-metre mast, as you can see, we haven't really been going that fast.
A welcome sight, the RAF Nimrod delivered supplies and greetings.
I woke up this morning, 2,000 miles of sea. My mast was missing, but it didn't worry me. It didn't worry you. What's that you say? There are no worries, 'cause the Nimrod's on its way. Have no fear.
The boat should reach port later this week. Marty Tasker, One Network News.
How lovely. Well, Grant Dalton's got his immediate plans mapped out. The same can't be said for the New Zealand cricket coach, Steve Rickson. His future as coach of the Black Caps will be decided later this week. David DeSoma reports.
These days, Steve Rickson looks very much at home, but ask him if he's staying and the messages are mixed.
In the ideal world, the obvious would be to go through to the World Cup and finish a job that's been basically three-quarter way started.
Then there are his family and business in Sydney.
They are priority, and they always will be, and that was the major factor. So I'll, as I said, come Friday we'll be able to give you some idea.
That's when Rickson and the cricket board meet to decide his future. But while the coach's plans are unclear, New Zealand Cricket today announced plans of its own for a new first-class venue as part of the Cricket Academy at Lincoln University.
And eventually we hope to have the thing, that whole picket fence around it, with a pavilion in this corner.
It's hoped the Oval will be finished by October. By then, irrigation and drainage systems will be in place. There'll be an embankment on the northern side of the ground, and the outfield will be levelled and sloped.
The big games that New Zealand Cricket will hold will still be at Lancaster Park, the one-day internationals and test matches. They certainly won't compete with that.
Instead, the new Oval will be used for conference cricket, underage tournaments and for Shell Trophy games later in the season, when Lancaster Park is busy with rugby. David DeSoma, One Network News.
The cricketers are heading off again soon. Another sporting Kiwi was home today for a flying visit. Superbiker Aaron Slight was in Wellington to hand over a brand new Honda VFR 800 to Stephanie Turner. She'd won the $16,000 bike in a competition for members of Slight's fan club. Currently, the Kiwi rider is fourth in this year's championship after a spectacular spill at Phillip Island.
These things happen in racing, and you know the back marker shouldn't have been there maybe, but you know it's just a bummer. It's racing.
His next race is at Donington in England on Easter Monday. American golf's newly crowned Players' Champion is a real chance to play at the World Cup in New Zealand in November. Justin Leonard yesterday won the richest prize on the US Tour and qualified for the American team to play at Gulf Harbour. Peter Williams reports.
Just at the moment, the reigning British Open champion is the hottest man in the game.
Looks good. How about in the middle?
Justin Leonard's win in the Players' Championship yesterday, grossing $720,000 American dollars, propelling him to the top of the US Tour money list. The TPC winner is always asked to play for the American team at the World Cup. That tournament promoter hoping earlier this month another young star would qualify.
Who knows, Tiger Woods might even be here from the United States if he wins either the Masters or the TPC Championship, because that's how we choose the American team. The two guys that win that, if they are Americans, then they come and represent the United States.
Justin Leonard played for the US team with Davis Love III in South Carolina last year and said then he'd be a starter to come to this part of the world if offered the chance.
I would certainly love to travel to New Zealand and see that part of the world that I've never been to.
The teams to play on the Robert Trent Jones design course at Gulf Harbour won't be finalised till August. While a Tiger Woods appearance is still highly unlikely, Justin Leonard's presence would add considerably to the stature of the event. Peter Williams, One Network News.
Britain has called for one of the official souvenirs of this year's Soccer World Cup to be banned. It's a 10-centimetre knife which is proving so popular in France, many shops have sold out. The knives are thought to be an inappropriate souvenir for a sport that is too often associated with violent behaviour. The British call comes after an English fan was stabbed to death by rival fans outside a stadium last weekend. Maybe they should just stick to T-shirts and keyrings.
Or teaspoons, or even butter knives. It's incredible, isn't it?
Well, after the break, Jim has more storms coming from the south.
Plus putting a face to those familiar phone message voices.
And a new treatment for kids with brittle bones changes lives across the Tasman.
Well, tonight on Homes have the tables turned on Helen Clark. Once Jenny Shipley-inspired savage protest, and now it seems the voters are turning from Helen to the Prime Minister. We ask our live panel why. And Angela Taverner, the opera singer with a voice like fired crystal, getting back to her real New Zealand roots. From politics to opera, New Zealand women, top women, tonight on Homes at 7 o'clock.
A new treatment for children with a crippling bone disease is proving astoundingly successful in Australia. The drug bisphosphonate is already used here to treat other diseases. But across the Tasman, it's saving children from broken bones and long hospital stays. Cheryl Taylor reports.
10-year-old Jessica Payne never dreamt she'd be able to throw away her wheelchair and get around on her family farm at Orange. She has brittle bone disease, a genetic condition that leaves bones soft, breakable and painful. 3 years ago, riding a horse would have caused multiple fractures. Today, it's a breeze.
Well, it's just a miracle. It's miraculous. There was only one way she could go before the treatment, and that was backwards.
Jessica is the first Australian child to trial a drug called bisphosphonate, which accelerates new bone growth. She was followed by 8-year-old Emma Winch, who was also in chronic pain and facing life in a wheelchair.
Well, I broke my wrist, and I broke my arm, and I think I broke my leg twice, but I know that I broke my leg.
Within 3 months of bisphosphonate treatment, Emma's pain subsided. She was up and moving. Her 2-year trial finishes this week.
The children were fracturing ribs and vertebrae from week to week, and it saved these children